guys, my name is Lacey of Spookless Fat Hips, and welcome back to my YouTube channel. I need to catch up on reviews. Oh my god, I'm gonna try not to rush in this video. I've been filming all night, my boyfriend's gonna be home any second. I'm so behind on reviews for you guys. I need to just, that's why we're doing this video where I'm gonna group a bunch together. Like I said, I've been promising you guys a lot of reviews, and I'm in my head. I have grouped this set of palettes together. This is like my first bundle of indie fall releases. I'm definitely gonna have a part 2 to this video, because I have even more indie fall releases that I want to talk to you guys about. I also have been promising you guys an indie rainbow eyeshadow palette collection review type video. Also, there's just some palettes left in that collection that I still want to finish reviewing before, like, I don't want to jump the gun and tell you guys my opinion on things if I haven't tested them thoroughly enough, which is besides my schedule just being totally fucked. Another reason why it takes me so long to fucking review things for you guys is because I just want to be thorough, and I don't want to tell you guys opinions on things that I haven't used completely or that I haven't touched every single shade and really formed an opinion on, because I realize that a lot of you guys turn to me to like guide you as to where to spend your money correctly, which stresses me out sometimes, if I can be real. But like, I understand how important getting a good review is, so I never want to half-ass it, so that's why it's taking me so long to review this shit. Like I said, like the title says, this is going to be a collection of palettes that have either been released for fall or that I feel like are more like fall colors, very like in right now, appropriate for the season. So we're just gonna grab the first palette because it's still available as I'm filming this video, and I wanted to get this up while it was still available. This is the Melt Cosmetics Gemini palette, which has had a history on my channel because I anti-hauled the 27 palette, I believe it was called, because I was so salty that the Gemini palette was out of stock and that they weren't bringing it back. And then I got some nasty comments that were like, I don't see why everyone's bitching that the Melt Gemini palette isn't coming back. I think it's great. And then it came back anyway, so fuck you. I'm getting feisty, it's late. The Melt Gemini palette came back, and I of course hopped on that shit, and everybody was like, Lisa, you're gonna get it, you're gonna get it? And I was like, I don't know, it's kind of expensive. I ended up buying it anyway. Take a deep breath. These colors are so, like, it's a review, I might as well get into it. I get the hype because these colors are amazing. I don't, like, this side, yeah, maybe, but this side, these greens and these, like, mustardy tones, I can't dupe in my collection. Even with all of the goddamn eyeshadow that I own already, I can't dupe these colors. And these all work so well tonally together. Like, yeah, these are browns and oranges, but the undertones of the whole palette are very consistent, which makes this palette work together very nicely. And to me, that's where the hype lies, because this palette is very expensive, and it really, the way people were talking about it, I was like, this better change my goddamn life, because it's like, with the shipping to get this is really expensive, and I don't know, I just in my head couldn't justify buying this palette. I'm very glad that I did though, that being said. These greens are some of the nicest greens I've ever worked with eyeshadow wise. They're not like seamless, like these aren't going to blend themselves and be perfect. They do blend much, much, much nicer than any other green I've ever used in my life. Green eyeshadows are like notoriously tricky. These are so nice. They can get a little skippy, but you just have to be extra careful with them. And these browns are like perfect. Like, this matte formula specifically I should reference, because I have thoughts. There's only 2 like glittery metallic shades. I'm specifically talking about the mattes right now. It's a really nice formula. I can't speak to how it compares to other melt palettes or other melt eyeshadows rather, because I've never bought like a melt stack before, because I just knew I wouldn't reach for a melt stack. I had been waiting for a palette like this. These are really nice shadows. Every single eye look I've made with this palette always just comes out really interesting and grungy and pretty. I've gotten crazy comments. Like, every time I reach for this palette, someone is like, holy crap, your eyes look amazing. And like, it's because I think 1, the tones are so unique, and 2, just every eye look comes out so pretty. The 2 metallic shades, I think a lot of people were very grumpy about these metallic shades, and that is because they're very chunky. And I'm someone who always uses a glitter glue, and I think these are shadows that definitely need a glitter glue, because you can, like, they look very smooth, but they definitely have a little bit of glitter to them, a little bit of chunk to them, which sounds horrific. I'm looking for a makeup wipe and I can't find one. And they're definitely different. I do have the She's in Parties metallic single that a friend sent me. They do feel a lot different than like that shadow. So I get why people were mad at these for that reason. But the mattes are really nice. This mustardy color, this green, this like orangey brown. These are just such pretty like harvesty fall colors. And if you can see in my swatches, they're not the most pigmented. They're not really like dense silky shadows. They don't have like a silicone-y feeling, but they're easy to work with. They're buildable. They're not flawless. This isn't going to change your life, clear your skin, pay your bills, etc. But for how unique these colors are, I'm glad I have it. If you feel like these aren't your colors, definitely skip it. If you feel like you have colors comparable to this, I know Sydney Grace has like dupes of a lot of these colors. Fine, I think a lot of people were turned off from the price. I will say, one of my shadows fell out when I first opened this. I think it was my Lego shade. I was able to catch, thankfully, before it like shattered on the ground, and I had to glue it back in. That's very disappointing to me, given what I paid for this palette. But other than that, these shadows are really beautiful. I reach for this palette a lot. If you're really into grungy makeup, you're gonna like this. It's a nice formula. Again, I can't compare it to other melt formulas. I've never tried other melt formulas besides that one single I have. And I know Makeup Struggles had problems when she reviewed this. She said that a lot of the colors just blend into her skin tone because of like the undertones they have. She can't get them to be very vivid on her skin tone. I can only speak for like my own skin tone. I think they come up very beautifully, but I can definitely see having those issues because there is that like mustardy yellowish brown undertone to everything, that if you have a more like olivey skin tone, so to say, these might not work the best for you, if that makes sense. But if you are interested in some grungy colors, I like this a lot. Oh my god, another To Kill a Bitch palette. This is the Lucid Dream 2 eyeshadow palette from her Mannerisms. I reviewed the Lucid Dreams 1 eyeshadow palette a while ago. Oh, I just busted my palette. Oh my god. I just busted my palette on camera. I went to fold this all the way back, like a lot of palettes do, and the spine totally ripped. Well, that's disappointing, but whatever, because it's easier to hold the palette this way. These are some gothy, witch, beautiful, dreamy eyeshadows. Oh my god. When I saw this, I was like, if that's anything like the first palette, I have to have it. This review is going to definitely mimic my review of the first Lucid Dreaming eyeshadow palette, because I am not at all impressed with these mattes. Not that they're bad, they just don't show up as vivid as they look in the pans. You only get 4 mattes to begin with in this palette. They're just kind of grungy and blah, and this green especially was the most disappointing because it does not come up vivid at all. These are very workable. They're easy to use. The green's a little skippy, but like I referenced with the Melt palette, most greens are a little skippy. The star of this palette and the first Lucid Dreams palette is the metallic shades. These are some of the most creamy, silicone-y, beautiful metallic colors and some of the most fun, like gothic colors I've ever seen in an eyeshadow palette, because a lot of brands are afraid to do these kinds of colors. These are like crazy beautiful. I think if you're into smoky looks, if you're into dropping your makeup, if you're into like gothy looks, if you're into like a dark eye for fall and you really want to emphasize like a good metallic shadow, you're going to really love this. I do think a lot of like the browns, especially the coppers, you probably already have in your collection and you're buying like a huge pan, so how you want to spend your money for how much product you get is going to depend on you. I can't believe I just busted the seam, but whatever. And this palette is gigantic, and I know that we're steering away from gigantic palettes, but look how beautiful the cover is. Holy cow. I don't know, like I said with the first Lucid Dreaming palette, the metallics are like a showstopper. They're so good. Mattes are okay. I wish they were more. I wish they were more vivid. But to get like a really cool like Halloween-y eye look, this is so pretty. The only thing is they put a black with sparkle in it. Everyone hates black with sparkle. Like, look at these like jewel tones. Holy crap. A lot of you guys always ask me for jewel tones, and I haven't had any to really recommend to you guys. Look how intense those are. Holy shit. Next, I want to talk about the Hasina 2 palette from Blush Tribe, which I'm really excited for because this is the first PR product I've actually ever gotten in my life. So thank you so much, Blush Tribe, for sending this to me. It means so much to me. I I've joked, and especially on the podcast, I've joked about how most indie brands tend to not like me. It's really cool that Blush Tribe is into my reviews and what I have to say, and they wanted to send me this product, so thank you, Blush Tribe. I'm super excited because these are obviously lacy colors, and I think we've all been dying for a palette that looks like this for a very long time. I've been having so much fun playing with this palette. It's part of what I have on my eyes today. I have this and another palette I want to review. Pretty much how I feel about all Blush Tribe palettes stands for this palette as well. The metallics are gorgeous. Very silicone-y, which I like. These are more like pastel shades, which I kind of wasn't expecting. Like these kind of, they're very frosty. I kind of expected them to be a little different. I don't know why, but whatever. That's fine. It's just, that's a personal preference thing. I didn't know they were going to be that frosty. The mattes, I really like Blush Tribe mattes because they're very like creamy and dense. And I've talked about like dense formulas in the past on my channel. The thing that I like about a dense eyeshadow formula is that you get a lot of pigment. Those swatches were terrible. You get a lot of pigment. The green one had the most shadow on my finger. You get a lot of pigment and it like explodes when you like start to, like it's easy to blow out the color with the more dense shadow. Because of that though, I also find it's a little more difficult to control a more creamy shadow if you're not used to like using an eyeshadow like that. I will say I did have some trouble specifically with this one purple shade, which actually is like my favorite shade in the palette, which is disappointing. That and this one green I found to be a little skippy, but if you like use a smaller brush, you place it first and then blend it out with one of the lighter colors, you can work with it that way. And I really like this purple, so I'm not giving up on it. But other than that, the metallics are really pretty, a little bit more frosty than I was expecting. The mattes are so nice. I really like Blush Tribe's formula. The black, I don't know, I feel like every palette has a black, but it goes with the overall color scheme. Like, you get the color scheme of this picture in the palette. It's so nice. I really have had a lot of fun using this palette. This is like the color story of my dreams, and I think a lot of other people's dreams ever since Tarte teased the April Fool's palette that everyone actually wanted. So good on Blush Tribe for like jumping on that trend. I feel like I'm late to the game reviewing this. It's been out for a while. I apologize. I'm just starting to get my shit together. Oh! And I do have a code with Blush Tribe, which is really exciting for me as a small YouTuber because I get to live my beauty guru fantasy. I don't earn commission or anything like that. It's a non-affiliated link. Spooky will save you 10% off of your Blush Tribe orders. So if you want to grab this, I think they're starting to run out of stock of this palette. This, and I actually am going to, if you guys want, I just got their Fall Fusion palette, which is very limited edition, and I think it's almost on its way out. If you want me to try to review that before it's sold out, I will, but I think I'm probably going to miss it by the time I put this video up. But that palette and this palette are so spot on for the season right now. I'm sorry, I keep looking at it like in love because it's such a pretty palette. I love the green, come on. These purples, I've been really loving, that's what I did with my eye look today. Putting the black on my lid, then putting one of these more frosty metallics on the lid because it comes out so nice. I don't know. I feel weird reviewing a product that was sent to me. It's the first product that was ever sent to me. I don't want to seem biased or anything. I really love Blush Tribe. I really love the owner. I think she's so wonderful and she really like believes in smaller influencers, which is so nice as someone who also believes in indie brands as much as I do. So like, I don't know, maybe I'm biased. I just like, I like this palette. And then finally, I wanted to review the Certifeye Destiny palette, which is like, a fun fact, I believe, anyway, Blush Tribe and Certifeye, the owners are sisters, so it's nice to like support the brands in that way. It's like a nice quote on palette, and like, whew, these colors, I mentioned in my Get Ready With Me, I couldn't keep calm. I am so in love with this palette. One, the names are amazing, and I will read some to you. Paranormal, Enchant, Dark Side, Potion, Hex, Brew, Sixth Sense, like it feels like she was making a palette for a Lacey. And like, yes, I have a shit ton of berry tones in my collection. This is primarily a berry tone collection. If it didn't have this bottom, would I have probably bought this palette? No. But the addition of these blues make this like such a fun fall palette, such a fun Halloween palette, and I've been really enjoying pairing this with like that Lucid Dream palette that I showed earlier. Today I paired this with the Blush Tribe palette. Like, this has been such a great companion palette for me for a lot of other fall palettes I've gotten lately, because these colors just scream fall to me, and they're such a good variety of colors. There's only a couple metallics. I will say, I find this formula to be a lot different than Blush Tribe. I think a lot of people expected the formulas to be the same because the owners are sisters. I don't find that to be the case. The way I describe Blush Tribe as being like a heavier formula, a more dense like silicone formula, I find this to be the exact opposite. I find these to be dry in a good way, in a way that's more manageable, in a way that you can build up color much more easily and much more specifically. The shadows, the metallic shadows, are also a little bit drier than Blush Tribe's formula, but equally like as pretty, maybe not as much of a base color, if that makes sense. Like, these are very much like accent colors, highlight colors. But yeah, this is just so nice, and I really wasn't expecting this formula, which I guess is a bias that I had just in my own mind given the owners' relationship to each other. And actually, it's funny, I used the code Blush Tribe on Certifeye's website to get the 10% discount, so I find that funny. But yeah, this palette just like screams fall to me. It's so nice. I don't know, this might be my favorite palette that I've gotten so far this fall. I've used every single color, like I don't have a complaint. Same thing with the Blush Tribe palette. This purple is a little bit trickier to use than the other colors, but that to me is typical for purples. I don't really find issue with the greens or the blues. And these berry tones, yeah, I have them 100 times, but these are really pretty and really nice. I'm really into like spice colors and like warm berry tones and like oranges and pinks lately. I don't know why. I go through phases with what colors I like. I was in like a purpley blue phase for a while. Now I'm in like a red berry phase. I don't know. But yeah, super excited to have this too. I've gotten so many good palettes this season that I had no choice but to make my fall review multiple parts for that reason. I feel like I've rushed through that review, but I just filmed 2 really long videos today before this. I wanted to get this out. Especially because I don't know how long that Melt palette's going to be here. But yeah, that's everything I got today. If you like me, if you like eyeshadow palette reviews, if you like this video, please like and subscribe, and talk to me down below about how you feel about all of these palettes and what other fall releases you're excited for this season. Like I said, there's definitely going to be a part 2 to this like fall indie palette review because I have so much that I need to review. This was just the stuff that I had tested already, and I want to break up the fall reviews with the rainbow palette reviews. I don't know. It's a lot. There's a lot of eyeshadow in my life at any given moment. Definitely, if you haven't already, also follow me on my Instagram, which is also Spooky Lips and Fat Hips, because I always post about what new makeup I'm buying, what new makeup I'm interested in, or even just what new makeup I'm not interested in, my personal life, whatever. Also, keep an eye out for my spooky Patreon, which I've been promising to be up in October, and it's definitely going to be up soon. I know it, just trust me. I'm just plugging it now before, to get the excitement going. But yeah, that is everything I've got today. I need to stop filming so that my boyfriend can be allowed to move and make noises in the background. Thank you guys so much for watching this video, and I will see you guys in the next one.